Sorry about that. My thing got locked out. Sorry about that. My thing got locked out. So now what we're gonna do is just worry about doing the exploder view, and then we're going to do the drawing. So to get to the exploder view again is you can either go to the configuration and go right click on one of the configurations and go to new exploder view, or on assembly tab you can go the end of the functions and you can go to exploder view over here. And here's the exploder view. How it works is you can select on a part and you can drag it to some distance and it will allow you to change where it's going to go. Before I do that, I forgot to change the units to IPS. It's not really important in assembly except when you're doing stuff like dimension mates or distance mates inside the assembly. So if you're doing coincident, you know the distance is 0 millimeters is the same as 0 inches. But if you're doing distance mates, it's very important. So now what we're gonna do is just do the exploder view, make sure your, I guess, standard of measurement is the same as all your parts. And we're going to start now. So here you can select which part you wanna drag out first. This is in steps. So in essence, you can create an animation of the parts as they're exploding, and it looks really cool. We don't have to do that. Oh wait, I forgot one thing in the other one, in the other video, which is making the bolts and screws. Okay, to do that, go to Design Library, go to Toolbox, and go to Add In Now, and it's going to add in the toolbox. You can go to anti-inch, bolts and screws, hex head, because the bill of materials says we need a hex head bolt, which is 25-20 UNC times 3. Don't worry about the 25-20 UNC. SolidWorks can automatically measure the diameter of this and select the bolt that is fitting that diameter. What you want to worry about is the times 3, which is the length of the bolt, which we're going to put it in. So click on hex bolt, drag it, and drag it to the edge of the circle. Not inside, but more like on the face. What it's going to do is create a concentric relation as well as a coincident relation with the plate, making it very, very easy for you because you don't need to add any more relations. So we're just going to go ahead, drag it somewhere near the edge, like that. And it's going to add a coincident and concentric relation. So here we have the size. We don't have to worry about that because SolidWorks already showed us which size is preferred. What we want to worry about is the length. The length, which is 3, because it says so in the bill of materials. So it looks something like this. And for the thread length, we can already put 0.75. For thread display, you can put simplified, but I'd like to put cosmetic because it will actually show you the thread. And then that's it. You can click OK. And now you have this hex bolt. So to place the hex bolts around, all you need to do is just go again to the different edges and click. And click. If you somehow exited out of it, all you need to do is go back into Toolbox, select the hex bolts, and select another hole. And just select all of them and click the X mark when you're done. Okay, so we have the bolts and now we need the screws. Again, we go to Design Library. This time, go back all the way up to anti-inch again. This time we're going to go to nuts. And then we're going to go to hex nuts. And then here, we're going to select the hex nut. Again, make sure you click like somewhere on the face and not on the circle, because what it's going to do is create a coincident and concentric relation if you do so. Now we're not going to worry about all these sizes and chamfers. We can do the thread display as cosmetic if you want, and then just click OK once you are happy with the size. And now we're just gonna put the bolts everywhere else. like over here, and over here. And then click X once you're done. Okay, now we're done. Now we can save again, rebuild and save document, and then go to the exploded view. Okay, step 1. Click on the center pin, and you get this dimension triad. It's called a triad because you have 3 dimensions, X, Y, and Z, and you can drag one of the arrows. Let's say we can drag the Z direction arrow because we want to pull it out, and now you can pull it out. Also, you can see that this thing appears where you have the dimension and the amount of degree change you want. We want this to remain 0, but we want this to change because we want to drag it out outside. I'm going to put this as 6 inches over here. So all you need to do is go to dimension 1 and put in 6 inches and click done. Do not click OK. Do not click OK. If you did, Control Z, then do the exploded view again. Do not click OK throughout the process of creating the exploded view. Only click OK after you're done with the exploded view. So we're just going to have a 6-inch and click done. And then now we're going to select the next parts, which are the bolts. You can select multiple parts in one step, but they're only going to move the same distance. So if you select like only one part, it would move one distance. If you select 4 parts, it's going to move the same distance for each part. Yeah. So here we're going to put this as 4 inches and click done once you're done. And then click the end plate now, and we're going to move this up here by about 0.5 inches and click done. Now we're going to go back here and click on the hex bolts, all 4 of them, and then go to the Z.
Oh, perfect.
Go to the Z triad.
Huh?
Go to the Z triad, and then we're going to change this dimension to 6 and click done. And then finally, or not finally, next to end plate, we're going to again click on the Z triad, move it back, and go to 4. This is only if you want to do exploded view, by the way. If you don't want to do exploded view, you can just skip this part. This is going to be 4 inches, and click done. Now we're going to do the disc. This one is going to do 3.5, and done. Now we're going to click the support pins, all 4 of them. And then again, Z triad, back. Let's make it 3. And then the spacer, we'll also move it back. Let's make it 2.5. Or actually, let's make it 2. And then done. And then finally the disc, move it back to 1. And click done. And now we're done with exploding the entire thing. And we can click the check mark. So now it'll remain this way. And it would create an exploded view. Save the assembly. And then now we go to, under new there's a drop down, make assembly from part. Make a drawing from part or assembly. You can click that. Or, what did I do? New, make drawing from part / assembly. Click that. We're going to use A and C landscape. Click OK. And now we're going to do the isometric exploded view. You can see it in the view palette over here. If you don't have the view palette, you can go to this drawing view palette, and then you can browse for which part you want to look at, and then it'll show you the isometric view. So we're going to click it and then drop it down. As you can see, it's not very big. To change that, you can do custom scale, and I'm going to put let's see, I'm gonna put a 2 by 5 or 4 by 5. It's a little too big, so I'm gonna increase the 5 to an 8. Okay, so this is a lot better. You can see it a lot clearer, and I'm going to change this into a display state style that is shaded with edges. It just looks neater and more real, I guess. And as you can see, we all have the exploded view. Okay, now to get the bubbles over here. To get the bubbles, what you can do is go to balloon. Actually, let me try auto balloon. I haven't done this before. What it does is just make the balloons for you. If you do not want that, then you can just make it individually with balloons, but it'll basically make the auto balloon for you. We want something like this. And it basically just spreads it out as much as possible in like a circle. We can also do this, 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 or this. It just gives you a pattern type. I'm gonna do this because I'll have a bill of materials on the top left corner, which is this table over here. So I do not want anything messing that up. So I'm just gonna put it on the right side. And then leader attachment is to edges, not faces. Yeah. Balloon settings, we can leave that alone. Leader settings and frame style, we can leave that alone as well. You can ignore multiple instances if you want. Actually, we don't want to do that because, actually, let's just do that. It's easier that way. So we're just gonna click OK here. And now we have our balloons. If you want extra balloons, you can just click the balloon and you can click whatever you want. Like, let's say I want to dimension this, and then I'll just go here. And it'll make that balloon again. Cool. Also, if you can see, there's like a U over here. That just makes, it's called magnetic line. It kind of looks like a magnet. And what it does is it creates a center line. The auto balloon thing creates a center line, which becomes a magnetic line for the balloons to be on. To make a magnetic line, you can just create magnetic line and then make that line like so. Since we don't want that, I'm just going to exit that. Okay, now I'm going to create that isometric view. To do that, I'll just go to the view palette, click isometric, and click somewhere in the drawing. Actually, since it's connected to the original one, it's hard to move it anywhere except horizontal. So what I'm going to do is delete that and click the isometric again. And this time I'll just place it outside the center line area, like over here. Again, I'll make it shaded with edges. And then now I'm not going to actually scale it up yet because it'll take up too much space. Okay, now for the bill of materials. To do that, hover over SolidWorks until you see this options. Go to Insert, Tables, Bill of Materials. Select the part or assembly where you want the bill of materials. I can select either the isometric or the isometric exploded view. I'll select the isometric exploded view. And here we want to check attach to anchor point, which means it'll attach to the top left corner. We want parts only, display as one item number. We don't want any of this checked. Item started number 1 and increment by 1. Some companies try to increment by 2 or 3. It's weird, but some do that. We can, for text format, click the all uppercase button, since these are also all uppercase, and click OK. And here's the bill of materials. We can drag the parts around to where we like it, like that. And we can't actually change the numbers here because, well, it's really hard to change the numbers. We're just gonna leave the item numbers as the same as before. And we can actually change the description if you'd like. Always click keep link. You don't want to break the link. So here for this end plate, we want it to be steel, so I'm just gonna put that. I'm gonna make it bold like it says over there. Oh, never mind, it doesn't make the bold. Okay, and then center pin, also steel. Disc, also steel. Spacer, also steel. Support pin, also steel. H bolt, which is the long bolts that we have. We can't actually, we can edit this part, but it will break the link for this description box. We can just click yes. Here we can put in 25-20 UNC times 30 or 3.00. And then here we can put in again yes, 25-20 UNC. Okay, as you can see, the bill of materials is rather big. It's affecting our exploded isometric drawing. We can just decrease the size of it to make it less intrusive. But we can only just decrease it so much. What we might end up doing is just moving this around a little bit, like so, to make it less intrusive. And then moving this around a little bit. Okay. Now, this one is a little small. We can make it bigger now because we know exactly like where all the parts will be. I'll put it as 2:5. There, a lot bigger. And now we are almost done. What we can do now is just put in like our names and stuff. To do that, right click on the drawing and click edit sheet format, go to note and click anywhere in the drawing area. Do not click over here because you'll get leader lines. Instead, just click on the drawing area and then type in your name and then your section number and then click escape once you're done. Click the name and section number and drag it to this box over here. Yeah. And then do that again, but this time for your title, like lecture homework 7. And then again escape and then drag it over to the title. As you can see, it creates like a bounding box. What it does is put it into like a title format that's already there, and once you click on it, it increases the font and makes it like the size of the title block. Okay, so that's done. We're going to go here to exit sheet format, and yeah, that is, I think that is it. We can go ahead, save it, the part, save all, and put it in the same folder as your assembly and your parts. This is very important. And we can just leave it as a fixture assembly drawing. And save. Okay. Let me just check again to see if we have everything. We seem to have everything. Yeah. Okay, we are done. I hope you enjoyed. To save this part, you can just save it, and then at the end, you can just click File, Pack and Go, and then make a zip file. Or, since you already saved it all in one folder, you can just click that folder, right-click it, compressed a zip file. Yeah, if you want, you can also make PDF of this drawing. To do that, you can go to File, Save As, and in your drawing, instead of saving it as a SolidWorks drawing, you can right-click, or just click on the SolidWorks drawing, Save as Type, and click Adobe Portable Document Format, PDF, and save. And now if you go to your File Explorer, and then go to Lecture Homework 7, and Fixture Assembly Drawing, you get your part. This is a previous one that I did. I had multi-view as well. You can do that. To do multi-view, it's the same thing. You can just do like front view, right view, top view, and then put in the same stuff as you did last time. So yeah, I hope this helped, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching.